Hello, people. My name is Fortune Chimobi Ihunweze from Relationship Mentorship. Today, I'll be talking to us on 11 kinds of men you should consider in a relationship. 11 kinds of men you should consider to have in a relationship. From my point of view, there are fewer and fewer good men today. There are fewer decent men today, and that means that for you to pick a man for a relationship, for you to pick a man for marriage, you need to do some deep searching. You need to look out for certain qualities that will make it a comfortable relationship, that will make you be proud of yourself that you made the right choice in the relationship. While you pray for Mr. Right, look out for men who have sound character traits such as the one I'm going to mention now. So what are these 11 kind of men you should consider for a relationship? Number one, men with strong moral code. Men with strong moral code. A man who abides by a strong moral code is definitely a good man. He is the type of man who knows the difference between right and wrong. He ensures his decisions do not contradict his moral standard. A man who prides himself in having good morality, if he becomes your husband, will definitely instill moral values in your children, because that's one thing that is lacking in the society today. We have a lot of children who lack good morals, whose moral fiber is decayed, and part of the problem is the fact that it is coming from the family background. They were not taught the things they were supposed to be taught, even from the family background. Remember, if I might quote the Bible here, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when the child grows up, he will not depart from it. Because of lack of good moral standards in families. Because of the fact that families are not doing the best to train these children, instilling good moral standards in them, we have so many children who are morally bankrupt. And point number two is that you should consider a man who has good relationship with his family. A man who has good relationship with a family. A man who has a good and close relationship with his family is the kind of man you should desire to be with. Why? Because this type of man knows the importance of family and truly cherishes having time with family. He would most likely place great importance on the family he would raise with you, even as a lady who maybe eventually gets married to. If he treats his mother with respect, you can be sure he will most likely treat you with respect. He will also treat the children with respect. And that kind of man is worthy to have, not just in a relationship, but also in a marriage at the end of the day. So remember point number two, a man who has good relationship with his family. Point number three, a man who understands and accepts the sanctity of marriage. A man who understands and accepts the sanctity of marriage. A man who is a marriage material, or a man who is a good relationship material, truly understands the real purpose and importance of marriage. He understands the real purpose and importance of relationship. He's not coming in there to cheat on you. He's not coming in there to abuse you, but rather he's coming to respect you. He will most likely uphold, commitment or fidelity to you. He will love you and he will love his children. He wouldn't want to do anything that will hurt the relationship that will hurt you. Why? Because he understands and accepts the sanctity of marriage and relationship. That kind of a person won't be in a hurry to think of separation in marriage. He won't be in a hurry to think of divorce. If for any reason marital crisis arises, he will go for every possible option to have the crisis resolved. He wouldn't want his marriage to be part of the so many failed marriages in the society today. So that is the kind of man that you should think of getting involved in a relationship as well as in marriage. Point number 4, a man who respects human life. A man who respects human life. Ladies, a man who values the sanctity of human life from womb to the tomb has the likelihood of being a great husband. A man who values the sanctity of human life from birth to death has the likelihood of being a very great man in a relationship, has the likelihood of being a very great husband in a marriage. A man who knows that human life is precious will be more open to welcoming children into the world after you get married. He would desire to have his own children, and he will want to take good care of his children because their life is important to him. He will also not abuse you because your life, your being alive, is so important to him. He will also do his best to ensure that the elderly in your family are cared for, protected, and live their life to the fullest. He will value everything about you. The longer you live, the happier he will be because he values human life. Point number 5 is that you should consider a man who has the ethics of hard work, who believes in hard work. A man who has the ethics of hard work. A man with hard work mentality will never give up when working towards his ambitions. He will always work hard to provide for your future family. He will always work hard to make sure that his family is supported financially. No matter what circumstances that comes his way, he will always instill the same value in your future children. And what is that value? The value of hard work. He will teach his children the importance, the significance of working hard. A man with a case of entitlement mentality is not a great catch for your future anyway. A man who feels that life should bring everything his way, who feels that he is so qualified for everything, who feels that he's entitled to whatever he gets, or who feels that life owes him, success that life owes him, employment that life owes him, financial breakthrough is not the right kind of man, because he will always be bitter. He wouldn't want to work. He wants things to happen on their own for him, and that does not always come to be, because life, success in life, there must be work. So a man with hard work mentality, hard work ethics is the right choice for a woman who desires a happy relationship and marriage. Number 6, a man who shares life goals. A man who have, wonderful life goals. It is very important that you share long-term goals with your man. Very, very important. A man who shares similar life goals with you will make a great husband. There is a need for you and your man to have similar life goals, especially long-time life goals. So what is the goals of this man? What does he want to become in future? Does he want to become a preacher? Do you have intentions of being the wife of a preacher? Does he want to become a businessman? a progressive businessman? Do you have the grace? Do you have the desire to have a businessman who will always be on the road, traveling for conferences, for meetings, for appointments? A businessman who probably will work so late at night, even in the house, he's always writing, he's always researching, he's always making calls to make sure that his business works. Do you have the grace to accommodate such a person in a relationship? So what are the life goals? What are your life goals as a woman? Because the moment the two of you share life goals, it becomes easier for you to understand yourselves. That is point number 6, a man with whom you share life goals. Point number 7, you should consider having a man who honors your femininity. A man who does what? A man who honors your femininity. A man who recognizes your beauty inside and out. A man who honors your femininity is worth keeping, because he will respect you as a woman and have a better understanding of your purpose in your marriage, of your purpose in a relationship. He will understand that you are a woman and you cannot be as awesome as a man would be. You can be different from a woman. You are a woman. He must make provision to accommodate your femininity. He must understand you might not be as physically strong as he is as a man. He must be able to understand that you might not be thinking in the same line with him as a man would. He will understand that you might not like the same things that he might like as a man. For instance, men like football. Not all women do. It is in the nature of men to like activities that has action, physical contact. That's why men will love contact sports, something like boxing and wrestling. But it's not so with many women. Why? Because their femininity doesn't like violence. Their femininity doesn't like fights. On the other hand, the nature of a man wants the man to always express how strong he is. And in sports, you find expression of strength in contact sports like taekwondo, karate, boxing, wrestling. That's why you see some men liking that. It is in there. So a man who respects your femininity, who honors your femininity, is someone to consider, who understands that there are certain things in him that cannot be in you as a woman. That is the kind of man you should consider. Because he will understand your strengths and weaknesses and treat you as he should. Men who treat their women with dishonor, men who abuse their women or beat them, are people who do not understand or respect the femininity of a woman. Point number 8, you should consider a man who is selfless. A man who is selfless. A man who puts other people before himself and gives a helping hand to those in need is a man you should not overlook. Such men values selflessness and will most likely be a loving and supporting partner in a relationship. He will be a loving and supporting husband. He will be a loving and supporting father. When he becomes your husband, he will also encourage your children to be charitable towards others in the society. He will always put his family first and before himself in everything he does. That is selflessness. A man who has a heart for humanity is a man who wants to be with you for the rest of his life. A man who has a heart for humanity A man who has a selfless heart will want to be there for you and want to be there with you. Through thick and thin, you count first. He's not doing anything just to satisfy himself, but he will want you to always be comfortable with him. Point number 9, a man who is faithful. A man who is faithful. A man who is faithful is not only to you, but also to God. A man who is faithful not only to you, but also to God. Why? Such man will make a great husband because this type of man will value and uphold the vows he will make to you on the marriage day, on the wedding day. Why? Because he has taken up the cross of faithfulness. He wouldn't want to fail you, because each time he finds himself being unfaithful, he feels disappointed in himself. That is the behavior of such men. So if you find a man who will always be faithful in his dealings with you, who will always be willing to tell you the truth, who will always be willing to keep his promises, and he does that, then he is the kind of a person you need in a marriage. He keeps his promises to you. He makes sure his family will always be stable when he gets married to you. In addition, a God-fearing man will let God unify and strengthen your relationship married. Point number 10, you should consider a man who is a lover of God. Now, because sincere and pure love comes from God, I must be sincere with you on that. Having a God-fearing husband is one way to have peace of mind in your marriage. You are not certain. You are certain. You are so certain that for the sake of his relationship with God, he will not want to cheat on you. He will care for you and his children in obedience to the word of God. He will always help you develop and maintain a strong Christian life or a strong faith life. The fear of God restricts him from being abusive. He won't do drugs or get involved in crimes and criminality because that will offend God. He is a gentleman on the outside, but a prayer warrior in the realm of the spirit. Therefore, he does not just protect his family in the physical, but also he protects his family through prayers in the spiritual realm. Point number 11 and the last. You should consider a man who knows his purpose in life. A man who knows his purpose in life. If a man, you should, I take that again. If there is a man you should avoid having anything and any form of relationship with, it is a man who appears not to have any purpose in life. A man who knows his purpose in life is a man worth marrying. He will remain confident while pursuing his life goals and what drives his soul. Because he knows his purpose, he will probably be more career driven, despite all any challenges he may face. Since he has this quality, he will continue to be an inspirational force in your life after you two get married. Yes, good men are becoming scarce, but know in your heart that there is a man out there in our generation who would love to make you his wife one day. I pray that you get the right kind of man who will not abuse you, who will not frustrate your destiny, who will not make you hate relationships, and who will not make you hate men and decide not to have anything to do with them. I wish you a wonderful relationship, and I pray that your relationships from today will bring you joy as you begin to make the right choice of people to get involved with. Thank you once more. My name is Fortune Chimobi Ihunweze. Kindly like my channel on kindly like and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. My channel is with my name, Fortune Ihunweze. I also have a Twitter handle, I also have a Twitter handle, Fort Inspires. Also, I am on Facebook as Fortune Ihunweze. The same with Instagram, Fortune Ihunweze. Thank you so much. I'm saying bye-bye from the platform of relationship mentorship. God bless you.